Internet peoples? Matt from Southern Motorworks here. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of musical cars here in the garage. So we've got our daily driven XC70 out there. She's going to be getting some new rubber on. It's about time. The Nokians that are on there are about wore slap out. So we're going to be bringing it in here, getting it up on all four so that we can take all the wheels and tires off, take them into town, get those mounted and balanced with the new tires that we got. A little bit chunkier, a little bit more aggressive than what we've got on there now, so it should look pretty good, should perform pretty good also. So that being said, that means we got to make some room here in the garage. So we got to get the old C230 project right here fired up and out of the way so we can bring the XC70 over here and get to work on the old girl. So let's get the C230 fired up and get this old girl up and out of the way so we can move the XC70 in here. Okay, let's get the old XC70 over here now. Alright, so we got the old XC70 parked up in the garage here. So now we're going to get her all jacked up, wheels and tires off, setting on some jack stands and probably some ramps under the rocker panels. It's plenty safe enough. It's better than cinder blocks, you know. So we'll leave her set like that overnight and be back tomorrow with some brand new wheels and tires. Goodness gracious, the old C230 looks good sitting over there. Alright, I think we finally got her up high enough there on all four corners. Boy, I really got to invest in another set of jack stands. So let's go ahead and get these tires busted off, get them thrown in the back of the old 430. Alright, now as we're going through here, we're going to be throwing some cinder blocks under here just for safety's sake. Okay, so we got all the wheels off, wheels and tires off. It doesn't budge at all. It should be pretty secure. We put a bunch of cinder blocks underneath the all the brake discs and you know, like lower ball joint area on all four corners, so that in case it does anything, God forbid, happen to our jack stands or our, you know, blocks of wood back there, it'll fall on those cinder blocks instead. So should be plenty well safe enough. It's only going to be for 24 hours, and we'll be right back. All right, so let's get the 430 backed up over here, get those wheels and tires loaded in the back of the old ML. I don't know if y'all could see her not here, but they were getting pretty well far down there. I think they're down there past 40% gone, down into like the 20% margin on a couple of them. A couple of them's got a little bit more tread on it, but you know, we'll bring these back for some nice takeoffs. We can use them on something else, I'm sure. Still a little life left in them. Whew. All right, there we go, all loaded up. All right, so we'll get those done tomorrow while we're in town, and we'll be back in the evening with brand new rubber for the old XC70. All right, so we're back from the tire shop. So we got all 4 tires mounted and balanced, look really good. So we're gonna go on ahead and pop them out of the 430 here, and we'll just mock one up, 1 or 2 of them up, make sure they're gonna fit all fine. It's the same size tire, but they're a little bit beefier than the ones we took off, those Nokians that we had on there. So we're gonna test fit one real quick and just make sure everything's kosher. And we're not gonna be mounting them right now, but we'll move on to that in a second. We kept all of our old tires. We're gonna stuff these in the shop out back or something. We'll hold on to them. They still got decent tread on them. You know, probably like 20 to 40%, depending on which one. But we'll use these for a future project. They'll make for some good takeoffs. All right, so there's our brand new Armstrong True Track ATs. Nice all-terrain tire, 225/70/16s, same as the old ones, just a little bit beefier. We'll get y'all some better light here in a second. All right, so like I said, here's a little bit better look at them. So Armstrong True Track all-terrains, 225/70/16. Not too shabby of a tire for the price there. Pretty chunky, beefy treads. Not too bad at all. We'll do a short with a review on these after we've driven them for a little bit, but not too bad. Those Nokians that we had, they were great. They performed awesome up north in the snow and you know, slush and ice and stuff like that. Surprisingly though, they did tend to hydroplane a little bit. She would jerk the wheel out of you if you hit a puddle going too fast. So hopefully these perform a little bit better, but you know, like I said, only time will tell. So we will get these mounted up and see how they're gonna do. But we're not gonna be mounting these permanently right this second, because tomorrow we're gonna be cleaning these wheels. They are filthy. Look inside here. Goodness. And that's one of the better ones. They are filthy, so we're gonna deep clean them really good. And then we're gonna be masking these all off and scrubbing up these wheels real good and scuffing them with some high grit sandpaper or something. And we're gonna be primering them and painting these a new color, give the XC70 here a little flair, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so let's mock one of these up, just see how they're gonna look, and then we'll hit that stuff tomorrow. A little bit closer than the worn down ones to the fender, obviously, but not too shabby. Not too shabby at all there. I think that'll work nicely. Yep, that will work nicely. Pretty chunky tread for a Volvo wagon, huh? All right, so that's gonna be it for this evening. Got home late from the day job, just pretty well exhausted. So we're gonna go in and get some grub, relax for the night. We're off from the day job tomorrow. So like I said, we're gonna be busting these old wheels out, deep cleaning them real well, scruffing them up, and primer and painting these. Y'all wait till you see the color the missus picked out. It's gonna be quite the look on the old P2 over here. So we'll see y'all in the morning. All right, so it's a new day. We got the wheels and tires. We got to get them scrubbed up, cleaned up real good today. So we're gonna get out here in this bright Florida sunlight, go ahead and get these things washed up, scrubbed up real good. All right, so we've got our new wheels and new tires on the old wheels here. So what we're gonna be doing first is just scrubbing them real good. We got a whole series of different scrub brushes and stuff to go on our drill here. So we're just gonna kind of start attacking these as best we can before we, you know, scruff them up for primer and paint. All right, so we got that first one all cleaned up. See, they turned out pretty well. There's some road rash, some corrosion on them here and there. But overall, I think they'll paint just fine. Look at all the crap that came off that wheel. Needless to say, I think it's been quite a while since they was washed or cleaned. All right, so since y'all seen us do that first one there, the other three are gonna be the exact same thing. So I think what we're gonna do is just, we'll leave the camera rolling and we'll speed this footage up a little bit, bust through these real quick, so you know what that means. Cue the music. Whew. All right, so we're gonna let those set out here in the sun and bake and dry out real good, and then we can move on towards scruffing them up so we get them ready for primer. All right, so these came out pretty well clean here. You can see there's definitely some corrosion here and there on them. They're balanced out fine, but we definitely got some corrosion spots on there and stuff, so these aren't gonna be the absolute cleanest looking ones, but you know, we can do a good rough paint job on them, they'll look better. Oh, Mrs. is home. It's like a little bulldog climbing up there. So anyway, these are all dry now, so we'll go on ahead and get these scuffed up and clean them off with some brake parts cleaner real quick so we can get this primer shot on them before we lose all the heat in the daylight that's gonna make it cure up right. Alright, so we got these all scuffed up and everything. We popped all the center caps out there. We're going to take these up in the garage and clean them up real good and polish them as best we can. Got some spider cracks on them from just age, you know. But before we do that, let's get some brake parts cleaner out here. Wipe these off with a nice clean rag. It's brake parts cleaner, and then we'll go ahead and hit them with some primer before we let them bake in the sun a little. These are nice and clean now. Dried off with brake parts cleaner and a nice clean rag. So now we're gonna push them over there in the sun, hit them with some primer so they can sit there and bake. All right, so we're gonna be masking these off, just using some garbage bags here. We're gonna rip in half. We'll speed this up and cut to when we got them done already. All right, so we got these all masked off pretty decent. Kind of lost the sunlight a little bit. Hopefully it'll come back. But we're gonna go on ahead and shoot some primer on these. What we're gonna be using here is some VHT primer. Engine enamel. Stuff's pretty good. It lasts and holds up pretty well. So we're gonna hit it with this real quick. Hopefully these clouds will pass over and ain't no rain in them. If this wind don't simmer down, we might have to move inside. All right, so we're gonna let those sit there and dry up real good. Rain clouds worrying me a little bit. I might go on ahead and preemptively put these in the garage for safety. All right, so we've got that first coat down. The paint that we're gonna be using actually needs to be painted on a black surface though, so we're gonna hit it with a second coat with some black primer here, automotive grade primer, and then we can put our paint over the top of that. All right, so we've got these all fogged black and everything. What we're going to be putting down on them here is some duplicolor color shift. It's like a green to purple shift. So it needs a black surface to go onto, so that's hence the reason why we hit it with the black first. Now we're going to be hitting it with this, and we're going to let it sit here and cook overnight. All right, so we're gonna let those sit there and cook overnight, and we may come out and spray a second or third coat on them or something after a while, but we need to let these sit here and get real tacky at least for right now. Look at that there. Not too shabby for an old wagon, old Volvo wagon. So, all right, we'll see y'all tomorrow. We'll see what they come out looking like after cooking all night. All right, so it's a new day. We got our wheels all dried up. They've been curing overnight. Look at them things there. Nice and solid. Feels like a pretty good surface on there. So let's get these unmasked. Oh, we got to shine up the center cap still, so we'll do that real quick. Then we'll get these unmasked and get them put on the car. All right, so we just got us, this technically some metal polish, but it'll work just fine. So we're just gonna do this by hand here real quick. Just a shop rag here. All right, that's all you need there. It ain't gotta be, I mean, if they're super bad, you're gonna have to do it for a longer amount of time, obviously, but these weren't super bad, so thankfully we don't have to sit there and polish on them for the next 2 years. We're going to take our microfiber here and just kind of buff them a little bit with the microfiber. There you go. Not too shabby. There we go. Now, we'll take a little bit of our high-tech yellow wax here. I love this stuff. It's excellent wax. And we're just going to do just a little dab for a little extra shine there. And we're just going to take this, rub it in with our finger. We ain't worried about getting any of this on our new workbench here. We added onto our old original workbench over there. Give us a little bit more surface area. Still trying to get the old shop back in order. Get it set up the way we need to do what we do. So if a little bit of that gets on there, it ain't gonna hurt nothing. Alright, now how you like those there? Turned out pretty darn good. Alright, so now we'll go on ahead and pop those back in the wheels. Let's get these unmasked and put back on the old XC70 here. Alright, let's get these bad boys unmasked. Goodness. Oh, I am digging the way these turned out. See if y'all can see that in the light there. Yeah? Alright, let's get them put on the car. I can't wait to see this. Do this ever so gently and not scratch up a brand new paint job. Cool. We'll torque these with a breaker bar after we get done. Never mind the wardrobe change here. Had to get some lighter weight coveralls for the summertime. It's getting hot down here in Florida already. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I can't stand grease on the lug bolts. Just drives me crazy. Maybe it's because I grew up in Florida with all the sand and everything just gets in everywhere, but I can't stand it. What about y'all? Do y'all grease your lug bolts and lug nuts or not? Let me know down in the comments. All right, so let me go grab the keys. We'll get the old girl back out here, get a good look at these new wheels and tires. Ooh, take a gander at them things. Kind of bad lighting right now. I'll have to forgive me for that. Later in the day, and it's a little cloudy. Looking good with them wheels. Check them things out there. Well, I'm gonna tell you what. Look at them little beefy tires. Armstrong True Track all-terrains. 225 70/16s. Yes, sir. Digging it. I like the look of the wheels on there. We were gonna try to do some quick like roller shots up and down the road, but the sun got away from us, so it's kind of bad lighting for looking at, you know, color shift wheels. So we'll have to put those in a short later on or something like that. Get some nice rolling shots in the sun, show y'all what they really look like in the sunlight. But we'll probably be doing a short of that, like I said, later on. Let's run them up and down the road a little bit, see what they feel like. All right, so just pulling out here real quick. We did torque the wheels down too with a breaker bar afterwards. What world was that? Oh, shoot, I know what that was. Hold on. That was a piece of my 430 that I had sitting on the roof. Little trim piece broke off the other day. We had to reattach that. Feel pretty good on the dirt road there. Let's take them down the paved road just a hair here and see what they feel like. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. They're pretty darn smooth actually for as beefy of a tread as they are. Not too bad at all. I mean, the old girl could use some new shocks, you know, but other than that, seems to be pretty good. The wheels and tires feel good, you know. They don't feel like they're super spongy for being an off-road tread like that, so not too bad. Not too bad for the price either. Have y'all seen the prices of good tires lately? Goodness. They drive nice and straight. Good deal. Good deal. Well, we'll do a long-term review after a while and see how they're faring, maybe in like 3 months and 6 months and a year or something like that. But initial impressions, they seem pretty darn good. So first impressions of the new tires, they feel pretty good. They're not too, you know, soft for not too soft in the sidewalls for an all-terrain tire. They feel pretty good on the highway, and I'm sure they'll have real good traction on the sand and dirt and whatnot. The real test I'm interested in is how they're going to fare when it comes to the rain and whatnot. Hopefully they do better than the Nokians we had on there before, but so far, first impressions, I think they're pretty good. And the new wheels, well, I say wheels, newly painted wheels look friggin' dynamite if you ask me. I wish we had better light out here to be able to show y'all, but they look friggin' awesome. I think it really changes up the look, gives the old XC70 a little attitude, you know what I mean? Short video coming out, we'll do some, you know, shots out in the sunlight and whatnot, show y'all what these wheels really look like, and then we'll do a review probably in like 3 months or 6 months, a year, or something like that, of these Armstrong True Track ATs. So y'all look forward to seeing that on the channel. So that's gonna do it for this episode of Southern Motor Works. Though, it was a nice, short and sweet one. So if y'all enjoy the content, don't forget to like and subscribe. We really appreciate it here at Southern Motor Works, and that'll keep y'all up to date on all the goings on here at the ranch, so to speak, and all the crazy projects we get into and everything. And we hope to see y'all on the next one. Till then, y'all have a good one out there, all right? We'll catch y'all on the next one.